where do we even start with analysing that game yesterday? It was an absolute whirlwind, especially at the end, and it went through all the different emotions, the highs, the lows, and that's what we love football about. But unfortunately, at the end, we were on the end of a low. And I'm apologising right now. I'm sorry for the lateness of this upload, but yesterday I was at the game and straight after that, headed to the West End to see a show. So hence why I've not been able to react to the game as of yet, but we're here now to react to it and talk through all the major talking points, what it means for Tottenham's season going into our tricky run after the international break, and, key moments for the game, stats, all that sort of good stuff here on the Saints Spurs YouTube channel. But before we go any further, if you are new around here, get down below, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, let me know in the comments down below what you made of the game. I will be replying within the first hour or so, and also hype the video if you can as well. And I want to start with these reaction videos by looking at the stats, and I just think this game overall, I think a draw was a fair result, if especially when we were 1-0 down for a large majority of the game. But the way at the end it happened, it's just, yeah, it's sad. It's very sad. Just getting the stats up now. And I mean, I saw some people, Man United fans, etc., saying they definitely deserved a win from it. But looking at theirs, like, 4 shots, 2 on target, 45% possession. Spurs, 9 shots, 5 on target, 55% possession. And I think a lot of those shots and shots on target came as the game went on, especially like when we went 1-0 down. We were poor. We were quite poor in that first half towards the end and didn't really like scoring. So that was quite frustrating, especially with... There was a golden chance for Richarlison. It was basically, I said this to my mate at the stadium, there was this golden chance with Richarlison where, the ball's played over the top, he's got to head it down and it goes over. Bryan Mbuemo gets the same chance and absolutely, puts it away. And I think that was the difference. You look at Man United's attack compared to our attack, and it's so much better. Mbuemo, Cunha, even Sesko came on. I know he went off injured. So that was really frustrating. But then as the second half went on and you look at like how the game was going, Man United did sit off quite a lot, which I was quite shocked about. I thought they'd, quite go for it a little bit more, but I think they were happy to just sit in and, especially as how the first half was going with balls over the top that weren't really going anywhere, like Pedro Porro not finding his man really, and Richarlison struggling and Colin struggling up there. It was really telling. So yeah, I was quite shocked about that approach. And then like the fact that United changed their sort of just let's keep this going. But Thomas Frank made some substitutions. And first of all, I think some of the substitutions were really confusing. Like at half time, he takes Kolo Muani off for Wilson Odobert, which I'm like, yep, I'm happy with Wilson Odobert coming on. But why has Kolo Muani come off? I don't know if there's, is maybe because obviously he's played during the week in the Champions League. But I'm not sure why Richarlison was kept on, really. And then Xavi Simons is taken off, even though I feel like he was probably our best player. Especially there was a moment where Xavi Simons dribbling through the middle, one of the most creative he's ever looked, and he's got no one around him. That's what's really confusing. He's got 4 people on his back and no one around him to give it to. So he obviously does lose it. But what's he meant to do in that situation? There's no runners, there's no Kudus or anyone like that. And then, so Xavi Simons came off, which was really questionable, and was met by boos from the crowd. And then I can't remember who came on in his place there. It was... Let me look at the substitutes. So Kevin Danzo came on for Romero. Tel, I think, came on. Yeah, Tel for Xavi Simons, which was a bit weird. Again, I would have taken Richarlison off at that moment. Diallo came on. Bentancur came on, which made sense for... Who was that? Polina and Porro. So yeah, even that I was unsure about. I'm not sure why Pedro Porro was taken off for Desti Ndoye. I would rather have taken Jed Spence off. I thought Jed Spence had a really poor game. I'll get more into that in my player review section. But yeah, as the game went on then, Tottenham looked like really a lot stronger and grew into it. There was 2 chances early in the second half that United's goalkeeper Lammens did really well to save. And I was just like, oh, it's not coming. Then we get the equaliser from Mathys Tel. Absolutely fantastic finish. Really does well here. Like proper striker's finish. Hold up. Bangs it into the top corner. Really, really good finish. And I'm thinking, 1-0 here. that's not bad. I would have taken a draw at the beginning. I'd have taken a draw, especially as 1-0 with not that long to go in the game. And yeah, and then going actually, I'll talk more about the Bryan Mbuemo goal and the defensive structure of that. I do question why, I saw Mickey Van der Ven having a go at Sarr for like, why didn't you just clear your lines? But Mickey Van der Ven also, it was a poor clearance from him as well. I think Vicario could have done better from the header. He's a bit rooted. Pedro Porro loses the man. I don't think any of the other defenders could have done a lot more than that. Letting the cross come in, it was like a standing cross while Jed Spence not closing it down. So yeah, there was a few individual errors again for that goal. And then the winner, I called it the winner. The supposed winner by Richarlison, which, I mean, it's not his goal, is it? It's Wilson Odobier's goal. That's a great strike for the end of the area that somehow Richarlison, he's probably getting out of the way of it, and then he like flicks it on and then takes his shirt off. And I'm just like, why, Richarlison, are you taking your shirt off? You're becoming a meme yet again. And I think there's a stat. I think Richarlison's taken his shirt off 3 times and we haven't won any of the games. I just think I've had enough of Richarlison. I've had enough of Richarlison. He's got to go. He's not good enough. And if he's counting that as a good goal and taking his shirt off, you're embarrassing, mate. You're absolutely embarrassing. Like, especially with how it ends up. That Man United got the other end. They get a corner. They've got 10 men. And they score De Ligt and no one's marking him. And it's a free header and it just goes in, hits the crossbar over the line and Vicario can't save it. Just looks absolutely embarrassing now. And then you go from being happy with a draw at the beginning to then being disappointed with a draw. But then in hindsight, probably you were happy with a draw. I don't know, but Richarlison, I've had enough of you, mate. Just get out of the football club. It's frustrating. I don't know how you're a Brazilian. I don't know how you're Brazilian. You've got no flair. You've got no character. You're just a big, moly, whiny boy. Oh, I've had enough of you, mate. But yeah, and that's really how it went. And it was quite disappointing in the end. I guess you have to look at it and think, could Thomas Frank have done some different tactical tweaks earlier on, and certain personnel being used at other moments? But I mean, Man United, you got to think. I know this. Everyone's saying, "Oh, like they still think Man United are poor," and I think they're not amazing, but they have been on a good run. Including us, it's 3 wins and was it 2 draws, including Forest last week. So they're on a bit of a, they're trying to change their season around. I think Ruben Amorim, they looked a bit more structured. I think they've got some personnel they need to sort out. But enough about United. I just think it's probably, if we'd got a win, we would have I think everyone would have looked and gone, oh, we got a bit out of jail there. But you got to take what you get. And then just that, there's that. It's quite surprising considering a lot of this squad are winners after last season. And after what they go through, Spurs still have that ricket in them, that mistake, not switching off last minute. It's almost like as soon as that goal went in from Richarlison, everyone's like, we won this. It's like, no, there was still 2 minutes left on the clock when the corner was won. And even the way the corner was won, I think there was loads of people around Mbuemo. Just take him out and just fire out the pitch. I thought our game management would be better than that under Thomas Frank. Towards the end of the game, it was just really poor, especially conceded from a corner. That's now the second corner we've conceded in a couple of weeks against Newcastle. I think we did, in similar silly circumstances. So we just got to get better at those sort of things. But that will come with time. I see more positives from this game than negatives. I feel like it was good to see just one of Paulinho and Bentancur. I can see both of them started in the next few weeks, maybe against Arsenal and also PSG in the Champions League. So yeah, I think if I now go through my player review, Vicario, I'd say not his best game, but he wasn't really tested, but when he was, they went in, so that was quite a shame. Pedro Porro I didn't think was great. Defensively, I don't think he was good. Offensively either, so poor game from him. Same with Jed Spence. I think Jed Spence now needs to be dropped. I think Udogie needs to be starting more games. I thought he was great when he came on. I'll talk about more him when we come to him. Romero Van der Ven, fine. I mean, Van der Ven lost the ball a few times. He tried to do his little run again, and the crowd went, ooh. But that was a bit suspect. Romero, fine. Not too bad. here and there. Paulinho, good. I mean, he's just everywhere, isn't he? Like covering so much ground, tackling. Really, really good. Thought Sarr was okay. Not the best game he's ever played, but I think having a Sarr or a Paulinho together was quite nice. Or having maybe Bergvall in there when he comes back from his concussion. Xavi Simons, I thought he was probably the best player on the pitch. Really looked like he wanted the ball more. He was fighting. He was tackling. He was getting quite creative. So I really liked that. Richarlison, I've spoken about him. Brennan Johnson, I mean, what is going on with him as well? It's like, everyone at the end said Man United had 10 men. Well, we had about 9, I think. Yeah, Brennan Johnson's been really poor again. I really can't put my finger on like how Thomas Frank can get the best out of him. Kolo Muani, not much really from him. I don't think I saw much service to him either. And then the subs, Danzo, yeah, he didn't do too much, really came on. Tel, really good finish. Dogi looked better. Wilson Odobert looked really good. I think he's got now start over Brennan Johnson. Bentancur was fine. And that's pretty much it. That was, a bit of a meh performance. Bit of a, could have been a lot better, could have been a lot worse. But yeah, that's what we've got time for today. Hope you have enjoyed. As I said at the beginning, leave your likes, subscribe, hit the notification bell, get your comments in, hype the video. And enjoy the rest of your lovely weekend. I'll be back with some videos during the international break to keep you all, up to date and, maybe do a transfer video. I think I'm due a transfer video. Let me know and I might, some signings you'd like to see and I'll do something like that. And I'll speak to you guys later. Up the Spurs. Have a good day. Bye.